Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using the promo code SGPN. Then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne, up in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, the 8th of May, and we are here to have a look back at the weekend of Premier League action that's still going on. Nottingham Forest Southampton is live as we speak, and we've got all the European stuff going on. European Champions League, the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League. So 3 sets of semi-finals, 6 games to have a look at. So we'll try our best. Joining us, as always, in lieu of a £6 fine for his tardiness tonight, is Mr. Barry Penaluna. £6. Have you got it? Put it in the pot.
You can fine me anything you want. I can do whatever I want today. And you
you're smelling yourself, guys.
It's been a great weekend. We have crowned a new king. And I'm not talking about King Charles. I'm talking about yours truly, who was just put out the dog of the week, and the pick of the week was Everton to beat Brighton. And it just squeezed in 5-1 in the end. 8-1 plus 800 for your Everton pick. Just call me the king. I haven't got the crown yet, but it is on order. But yeah, you can find me anything you want. What are you going to do about it? You're going to sack me after an 8
Make you the king, £6. You can just donate one of the jewels off your crown or something. I don't know. That was a good speech, Baz. I very much enjoyed that. You know what's made me laugh is your opening gambit, great weekend. You know what the first 2 words I've got written on my sheet are? Awful weekend. Yeah. Same set of games, and we've ended up at different ends of the spectrum. Serial Captain Sano. I've arrived, Captain Sano. Good evening. Serial's enjoying my LA Galaxy shirt. I think my awful weekend came from punting. I made a slight recovery today, and then watching Newcastle as well. So yeah, just a bit of a general tight and emotional weekend. Baz drank too much beer, etc. Watched the coronation on Saturday, just out of bloody mindedness. Load of bollocks that was. But yeah, it's your turn. I like how we tend to be taking turns, Baz, and being the star of the show here. We've passed the baton backwards and forwards for the last couple of months. And after I went nuts a couple of weeks ago, you've got some extra bonus picks to tell us about, and things that went down in the Discord channel today as well. Yeah. Which you need to get involved in that. If you listen to the show, not on the Discord channel, it's like when you watch like the Great British Bake Off, and then that finishes, and then on BBC Two they have like another program that show you behind the scenes and that, and there's like someone dropping their Victoria sponge or like someone's ice cream melted. That's what's going on in the Discord channel. Like Barry's dropping his Victoria sponge and my ice cream's all over the floor. That's the sort of thing that's happening. But not wanting to bury the headline, but there might even have been a 100-1 winner posted in there tonight. Which Baz
I've got to confess that was posted after the event. I did get a 100-1 winner, which was egged on, and it was encouraged by stuff that was put in the Discord. Yeah, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, get in the Discord because everybody's putting stuff out there, and there is everything from short price bankers and locks to some big money, big odds parlays and stuff. So get involved. Everyone's welcome. There's more and more people starting to get involved in there now, and it's good to see more involvement. Doesn't just have to be about the same faces. Everyone can get in. Put your picks down. Of course. There's never anyone moaning if you put a loser in there, so don't be afraid to speak up. And also, just whilst we're on the subject of the socials, if you're watching on YouTube now, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and give us a review. We'll get that in early for a change because we normally put that in the end
when everyone's gone. Off. So it's just making you talking to each other.
5-star reviews on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Just subscribe if you're not already, and hit the thumbs up if you're watching it now.
Another reason to get in the Discord channel, I would say this week, is that it's all European stuff. And famously, me and Barry haven't got a clue what we're talking about. So I would listen to this for the entertainment value, and then don't pick anything, because our European picks Well, yeah, poor, I would say, maybe.
I done okay last round, but
yeah, you did, yeah.
We're scraping the barrel a bit today with stuff like Europa League and Europa Conference League. Serial actually came on our show earlier in the season, didn't he, on one of the European weeks, and had a really, really strong week. He'll be in the Discord, I've no doubt. He'll be putting his stuff in there. So, yeah, get in there, get involved, because there'll be plenty going on in there.
Yeah, completely agree. We'll get to a little Premier League review. We'll whiz through because Baz is eager to get to the Brighton v Everton match. Once I've told you about our headline sponsor, Shady Rays, teaming up with SGPN for Shady May, you'll get an amazing 50% off, but a chance to win $500. Shady Rays got you covered from the sun to the slopes with their premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, etc. The lost and broken replacements offer is a stunner. If you lose or break them even on day one, they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Or you can exchange them for a new pair, return them within 30 days. There's no risk at all when you shop with Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code SGPN for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Then take your receipt to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win the $500 Shady May contest. Right.
1-0 Nottingham Forest.
1-0 Nottingham Forest. Oh,
yes.
My goodness. Well, I backed Southampton, didn't I? What was your pick here, Baz?
Over 2.5 goals.
Oh, there you go. Then.
I've also took the first half overs because the first half over 2.5 has hit
system playing it.
Hit today twice. Three goals in the first half of both of them. And you were getting good price even for the 1.5 here. So I'm on the over 1.5 and upwards.
Who scored, Baz?
Going to have to slow down on the updates because I've just been told by Serial that was a spoiler. He's obviously a little bit behind.
I know. Yeah, we did this twice to him last week.
10 seconds for the pictures to cross the Atlantic. Awaniyi, is that how you say it? Awaniyi.
Yeah, it is now.
Awaniyi, something like that. He's got the goal. 18 minutes in, 1-0 Forest.
Okay, so this weekend, Saturday was dreadful for me. It feels like it was weeks ago as well, even though it was only 48 hours ago. Bournemouth won, Chelsea through. Took Bournemouth. I mean, Chelsea won, but no one was taking Chelsea, so I can't imagine. Chelsea had to win sooner or later, I suppose. But you did all right, yeah, Baz, with it over 2.5 goals in a game that really told us nothing about anything.
Yeah, Chelsea, Bournemouth, over 2.5. It was one of them where if I had to have a lean on the money line, I'd have probably took Bournemouth because you couldn't back Chelsea at the moment. But I did say in my notes, Chelsea will win a game at some point, and it may very well be this week. I couldn't back them at those prices, but took the over 2.5. So it was a decent start for me on Saturday.
Manchester City 2, Leeds 1. I don't know if I didn't win this. My bet was exactly 4 or 5 goals, and a 2-0 after half an hour. I couldn't see how I could lose. Like, I was just laughing. I was well ahead. And then nothing else really happened. They missed chance after chance after chance. Missed a penalty. Leeds got 1, which cashed your bet of both teams to score. We've enjoyed the Man City both teams to score recently. So yeah, you cashed your bet, Baz. But then what I couldn't work out really what Allardyce achieved here. This was the question for me, because what he attempted was everyone up that end. That was his plan. That was the great system he came up with. Everyone up that end, and then, I mean, did he or Leeds deserve any credit for what happened after that? Because it could have been 6-0 down, but they weren't. They hung in, and then it looks like they've done all right and gave them a game when I'm not sure they did. But yeah, what does he make?
He'll claim it as a victory, but only a 2-1 defeat. He'll claim that as some sort of success, which is what I said beforehand. He'll want to claim some success out of it, whatever it may be. As you say, I took the both to score simply because all of the prices on Man City I just found it got a little bit too short, and there was that little uncertainty as to how Leeds would approach it. So yeah, good for me. 2 for 2 at that stage.
Tottenham 1, Palace 0. A rare winner for me.
Malcolm? Can I just stop you there?
Update. We count to 10.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to stop.
How long ago did this happen?
Serial, I'm not going to do this again, but it is 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Serial will definitely be on the over 1.5 first half goals, like me, and he will be cashing that as a winner. And we'll be cheering on the third and the fourth. Hopefully. 2-0 Forest.
It's not so bad if you crash the winning of a bet, you can kind of deal with that. Well, yeah, like you just said, Chelsea had to win a game soon. That's how I felt about Tottenham, and they did. When they did, it was going to be a home win against an average team, and this was kind of what happened. So yeah, I got Tottenham in that. You went the Euler way. Did you take goals in this one as well? Yeah, you took the over 2.5. It was just a nothing match, wasn't it?
Yeah, garbage.
This year, like I thought, just this weekend was there was some mad stuff happened, probably in the later games, but it's definitely getting harder and harder to handicap, Baz, because teams are just throwing kind of their systems out of it. We've either got teams who don't need to try anymore, and it's hard to tell when they're going to or not. And then you've got teams just throwing their systems out the window out of absolute desperation. And that obviously this is a thing that happens in the last few weeks of the season. You've got to try and be good enough to spot this shit. But Wolves were Aston Villa 0. I took the draw again. Wolves get in front, and I thought I'm in a great position here. Wolves scored after like 9 minutes. Thought I'm in a great position to cash the draw and the 1-1. Just expected Villa to score, and they couldn't. Back-to-back poor results for Aston Villa. Away defeats to 0 for them. Your pick, you took Villa because you can't get Wolves right.
I can't get Wolves right every week, but we flag that up to people every week when I make my pick on a Wolves
yeah.
Game. So hopefully nobody followed that. I think what it's fair to say with Villa, in my mind, is they absolutely peaked against Newcastle in that 3-0 win. And from there, it's been 2 defeats, 1 draw, and a 1-0 win against Fulham at home, where I'd backed them to score 2 or more. So I haven't got Villa right ever since. Well, I didn't get them right in the Newcastle game either. But it does feel like they peaked. Just got to the point where they started thinking, whoa, we might be in with a bit of European football here. And then they seem to have just gone and blown it, gone right off the boil. So definitely factoring that into my plays next week with Villa. I think they might be one to avoid a little bit now.
Okay, next up was, let's have a look. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. Again, I've got a bit cute here. Took the draw because we weren't sure that Liverpool could continually get away with winning by 1 goal. Because that's what we said would happen. And we tried to find a way around it. And of course, Liverpool won by 1 goal, which is like 5 times in a row. You did similar thing, looked at Brentford double chance. Because we'd looked at we'd looked at the Brentford handicap plus 1.5, which would have cashed. Yeah. But it was 4-6. So maybe we just a lesson learned there about being a little bit too cute. But you were slightly less lucky this time, Baz. You said it was more of a straightforward win. I was out to work on Saturday, so I missed it.
I mean, they went ahead early on. Brentford did make a bit of a game of it in the first half. I think sort of the last 20, 25 minutes of the first half, Brentford created a lot of chances, got forward a lot, did a lot. And I thought, well, they're going to get chances to get back in this. And then the second half, they barely laid a glove on Liverpool, really. 2-1 Southampton, over 2.5 first half goals.
Oh, shit.
Christ, it's going off. I've done it again. I've spoiled it again.
What I like, Baz, is that you refuse to learn a lesson. It was a solid 3 or 4 minutes ago. I don't know how we expect you to remember.
Anyway, yeah, Liverpool. It was probably the right result in this case, so nothing more to say about that one.
Who scored this time?
I don't know. I want Iwi's got 2. I'm not sure who's just scored for Southampton. Let's have a look. Alcaraz.
All right. Escape from.
I tell you what, Malcolm, goals galore today. What have we had?
It's been absolutely ridiculous, hasn't it?
Was it a 5-2?
5-3.
And here we are. 5. Did it finish 5-3, that one?
5-3 and 5-1, yeah.
Yeah, 5-3, 5-1. And here we are, 2-1 after 26 minutes.
Excellent.
Crazy.
I've lovingly saved up all of my crowns on DraftKings. Got my 20,000 crown bonus for playing 100 Premier League games yesterday. And then I've spunked them all on one massive game tonight and put the Southampton goalie as my captain. As you know, I like doing. So I'm now absolutely last in this competition. I've spent 8 months saving up all of these crowns to enter a massive contest. And has been ruined inside the first 14 minutes. So that's the end of that. Now we move on to Sunday. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2. Disappointing on a couple of fronts. Lost my pick, was Newcastle. You did all right. You were on the Newcastle corners train again, which just cashes every week. In terms of the game, this was just fine margins, really. Newcastle, a big part of the handicap was the fast start that we've been able to get out to recently. And we hit the post after, it was about 80 seconds. I looked at the clock when Jacob Murphy hit the beans on toast. And then there was the penalty incident, which was given, then overturned. And then you're 1-0 down, out of kind of nothing. And after that, Arsenal managed the game beautifully. I thought Arsenal were really good. What I took out of the game yesterday was that what Arsenal had done this season wasn't a fluke. I thought they were excellent. And the football wasn't brilliant, particularly in the second half, because they got away from their system in order to manage that game. They know them to play good football. They just keep, we've said before in the past, when they get 1-0 up, they just keep going. That's one of the things that set them apart from other teams who would sit and try and defend a 1-0 lead. And actually, yesterday, they thought, right, for half an hour, we need to get away from that. We need to lock this down a little bit. And we're capable of doing it. So it was good coaching and well played. Odegaard was absolutely exceptional. But yeah, say fine margins. Newcastle should have been 1-0 up. And then after that, weren't really in the game. So yeah, slightly disappointing on all fronts, Baz.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing result. But as you can see, I don't think we're going to have any complaints. I don't think we played bad. We just got beaten by a better side on the day. I mean, you look at the stats, we had a higher XG, we had more shots on goal, we had more corners, we had more everything, really. But you're not looking at a thing and we were hard done by. It felt like one of those games sometimes you get where just nothing goes your way. You get the penalty given, you think, Christ, what a start this is. That gets overruled. Hit the post twice. The second one's, fluffed in off Shaw's foot. It just felt like a game where nothing was going to go our way. And that's not taking anything away from Arsenal. As you say, they played very well, deserved the win. I don't think it's a massive... I deliberately kept away from Twitter a bit last night because I expected there to be a bit of a meltdown from Newcastle fans, panicking a little bit. It was the hardest game in our run-in. We've lost it. We've got 4 better games to come up. I mean, we've watched Leicester get absolutely hammered today. We've got them to come up. We've got Leeds this weekend. I think there's no real cause for concern for me. So yeah, good game. I mean, the only thing, and I haven't got a problem with it. In the first game, I said I didn't have a problem with it. We got absolutely lambasted for time wasting, going down, the fouls and all that. And I said at the time, it's nothing different to what anybody else does.
Of course, yeah.
And it proves, because Arsenal done it yesterday and they're entitled to do it. You're ahead, you do it. It's down to the referee to deal with it. And they do it, fine, crack on. But then don't be whinging like a tit. If Arsenal go to whoever they've got this weekend, Brighton or something, and Brighton are frustrating them, they'll be moaning the tits off when it's going the other way.
Yeah.
But we all do it. Every team does it. Been made into a big thing with Newcastle, but Arsenal showed exactly how everybody does it if they need to do it, and crack on.
There was a spell of about 10 minutes in the second half, Baz. It was like between 55 and 60 minutes where Arsenal have a free kick, they would take it, we would challenge, the bloke would stay down and for a minute. Yeah. And that happened about 9 times, and then they would get the free kick, take the free kick, challenge. You would, and the
physio was very rarely needed, was it?
Of course not. But it was like from 55 to 65 minutes. The ball must have been in play about 10 seconds. It was one other thing, Baz. I didn't know whether to mention on the show what I told you earlier on, but I'm going to mention it briefly because a bloke, total random, come and sit next to me. I get randoms next to me all the time. Big ugly looking bloke. About 10 minutes in, heard him racially abuse Saka, but he didn't shout it, he just said it, sort of room level, And I thought, fucking hell, I don't know what to do about that. So I went down and I had a wee and I composed myself and I came back. And then I was just kind of waiting to see he was getting agitated. And then about half an hour into the game, he abused Ben White, load of homophobic slurs. And then he called Bukayo Saka a chimp. And I just thought, fuck you. And I was straight up, and I didn't know what to do. Conscience, the police said it's going to be a hassle not a hassle, but to go to court, make an official complaint. Are you sure you? And then there was a couple of girls sitting in front of me who actually walked past on the way to the loo. And I just said, did you hear that? And they said, what, when he called Saka a chimp? So at half time, they went and arrested him. Police have been on the phone today. But I just thought, I didn't know what to do, Baz, but I just thought, you know what, we go, we take our, it doesn't matter if we take our kids or not, but no one should, that's football's for everybody like that. It's our society, it's our community, it's our kids, it's our parents, it's everyone who's sitting around, and nobody needed to sit in here. That, like, people like that, man, that the days are numbered. Hopefully his time's up, ever going to a football match again. And generally just in society, like, and I've never heard that at Newcastle Baz either, by the way. It's not something I've heard regularly from, like, at all from anyone. And I was shaken up by it. Like, it kind of, when I've written Awful Weekend, that was kind of a part of it, because I sat in the second half and I just wasn't that bothered anymore. Like, so yeah, I just wanted to point that out and just thought, you know what, people like that, fuck them, like.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous in the current day and age that it still goes on. As you say, fortunately, we don't hear it that often. Certainly inside the grounds, I've very rarely heard it over the years for a long, long time. But yeah, did the right thing. I'd have done exactly the same. There's nobody needs to have that shit going on.
Yeah, agreed.
On a more positive note, Malcolm, let's not brush past my pick here, which was also my lock of the week. And we've also got Lane Elliott. Was Lane a new comment last time on the show?
Yeah. Lane was in last Thursday.
He said he caught up with us live for the first time last week, and his first ever EPL bet was Newcastle over 5.5.
Yes, you can retire now, Lane. You never need to put another bet on again.
You know, we got to 5 really quickly. I think the 6th hit in about the 75th minute. And then in the 90th, or in injury time, it was 7, 8, 9, 3 off the bounce for Newcastle. So we got all the way up to 9. And I can't remember what the price was. I did ladder it up. But yeah, we got up to 9 corners again for Newcastle. So the Newcastle corner ladder is the gift that keeps giving. And well done, Lane, for getting involved.
The next game cheered everyone up a little bit. Kind of saved my weekend this. West Ham United won, Manchester United 0. Man United played quite well. West Ham United played quite well. I took the draw. Not really unlucky, because Manchester United were and are and remain shite. So here threw one in, which was funny. The VAR, I've no idea. At that point, that was just cheating. I can't think of another word than obvious and blatant cheating. It's like, we don't care anymore. We're just going to try and cheat. We are cheating. We're going to cheat this weekend. And West Ham, man, you huffed and puffed a bit, but West Ham could have had another goal. Never really looked in danger. So that kind of took the edge off Newcastle losing, because it meant the status quo remained. At the end of the day, everyone was where they were at the start of the day, which was Manchester United 2 points behind us and another game ticked off. So, a losing bet, but I was happy with the result.
Yeah, that penalty not given is absolutely astonishing. I wasn't watching live the first half. I watched the second half live. I had it on the radio in the car, and the radio commentators immediately just said, "Oh, it's a penalty. No two ways about it.
It's because it was
a penalty." And then they were like, "Hold on, the players are leaving the pitch." It was right on the stroke of half time.
Yeah,
and the commentators on the radio are adamant. He says these players will be coming back out of that tunnel in a minute to take this penalty. He says because someone's got to be looking at that and realise it's a penalty. And they were adamant. Even 5 minutes in, they were saying, we're still looking at the tunnel. There's no sign of any activity.
They were not going to the adverts.
And honestly, they were just like, they must be coming back. They couldn't believe it. And rightly so. Jermaine Jennas on BT, I watched it back. Jermaine Jennas said it wasn't a penalty. I couldn't.
Oh, why?
Absolutely
shut
ridiculous.
Up, man.
And they come out with something absolutely stupid. Remember the Maguire one the other week? We thought that was blatant.
Congested area, wasn't it?
They didn't give it because it was a congested area. This time they said at the point of contact, his arm was inside the line of his body. So it wasn't.
This is all right.
The thing is, he moves across and swings his elbow to hit it.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. I don't know how. I mean, if that had cost West Ham, shambles. But thankfully it didn't. As you say, West Ham really good value for the win. All the talk afterwards and everything on Twitter was about how bad Man United are, but let's give West Ham a bit of praise. But obviously, for
we were sitting in the pub yesterday, and I said, like, it's hard to believe that West Ham 3 weeks ago were in a relegation battle. Like, because some of the players they've got a lot of excellent players. I mean, Declan Rice was different gravy again yesterday.
Yes,
and they've been playing really well. It was only like a few weeks ago that we went down there and smashed them 5-1, and they were absolutely in the shit. So it's really weird. And then I think Tiger pointed out that it's kind of the Thursday night thing. For some reason, it's impossible to play on a Thursday and a Sunday. That's crippled them.
So it's Glazers out again, Malcolm, isn't it? For
Man
United.
Yellow and green scarves out.
Yellow and green scarves. I mean, it drives me mad seeing the likes of Gary Neville afterwards. The first thing he is on about is the failure of the Glazers. I mean, it's not the Glazers' fault. David De Gea can't hold the ball.
His hands
you know what I mean? It's not. Is it the Glazers' fault that they wasted £90 million on Anthony? Like the money they've spent. I mean, what did they spend in the summer? Anthony, Martinez, who was the other one? Casemiro spent 200 million in the summer, and they're crying hard up. Last year,
Sabitzer sitting there doing nothing still.
It's mad. I mean, you look at the bench yesterday. They had Maguire 60 million, Sancho 80 million, Fred 50 million. Christ, must be hard times being a Man United fan. The poor bastards.
Fulham 5, Leicester 3. I went for a nap this afternoon. In fact, the whole family was having a nap, so I had to get in the boys' bed because there was no room. So I had a nap in his little cabin bed, all crunched up, about 3 foot long, and listened to this on the radio. Did Fulham get 5-1 up or something? Leicester just didn't turn up.
Yeah, Fulham were 2-0 up early on, 3-0 by half-time, 4-0. And it took about an hour until Leicester got involved. So Leicester were never in it. Leicester were absolute garbage.
Missed a penalty as well. Maddison missed a big penalty in the week, and everyone said, why didn't Vardy take it? So Vardy took it today, and he missed as well. But yeah, my bet was Fulham 13-8 plus 162. The fight back started today. I picked a couple of winners today. This was a nice plus money one. Just thought Fulham is still trying, really. And Leicester aren't very good. It was pretty straightforward handicap, Baz. And you took over 2.5 goals, which was a straightforward win. But then, Baz, here's your headline. Brighton 1, Everton 5. I cashed my modest both teams to score 9-2. You went berserk, Baz. I'll give you the floor. Go on.
Yes. I tipped Everton. I put them out as my main pick. I put them out as my dog of the week. And it wasn't, I said at the time, it wasn't a fade of Brighton. It wasn't because I think Brighton are going to crumble. It was just the odds. I thought Brighton were far too short. Funny, I've been messaging a friend of mine who's a Liverpool fan, and he'd said the same. He said he laid Brighton because he said even when Liverpool are at home to Everton, they wouldn't be as short as 1-3. And Liverpool are generally a better side than Brighton. 1-3 was too short. I said it, I made it clear. I could not back Brighton at that price. I wasn't to say I didn't think they'd win, but I thought 8-1 represented huge value for Everton. And it meant there was huge value on everything with Everton. Everton goals, shots on target, all of that sort of stuff. You are getting some really, really tidy prices. So I did back Everton to win the game. I backed the first half goals as well. Again, following on from the first game, it was full of them again. So it's hit 3 out of 3 today, over 2.5 first half goals, 3 out of 3. What else? So this is where the Discord come in, and it's our Dutch friend Tees again. He's really good with his player stats. In recent times, he's put out Ivan Toney to score from outside the box, Callum Wilson outside the box, and he mentioned last week Dwight McNeil for Villa. And his shots on target stats, he's hitting 2 or more. Sorry for Everton. He's hitting 2 or more every week at the moment. And you're getting really, really good odds for him. So today he was 9-4 to have 1 shot on target. He was 7-1 for 2 shots on target. And a lot of people in the Discord got on it. He hit 2 on target. Not only did he get 2 on target, they were both goals. And I pushed that a little bit. I got a little bit carried away. And I backed Dwight McNeil 2 or more goals at 100-1. So I sent you a message that I might be a little bit late for the podcast. I've been held up. Writing my notes was held up a little bit with all the excitement. So
at least you can afford your £6 fine, Buzz.
Again, in the Discord, that sort of stuff's coming out all the time. There's a lot of people with different angles for different stuff. They won't always win, but it gives you something to think about. And the other thing, as I say, just, I don't know, forgot what I was going to say. I'm too excited now. But yeah, hit a lot. Really, really enjoyed that game. I mean, nobody was sitting there thinking Everton are going to go 3-0 up and 4-0 ups and all of this lot. But Everton were good value for it. First half in particular were really, really good. Brighton made loads of chances in the second half. Pickford's played out of his skin to keep the score down. But yeah, really, really good win and a really important win that for Everton and should give them a lot of confidence going forward. And we said they'd been playing a bit better lately. They played all right against Newcastle for a while, and then I can't remember who the last.
It was the Leicester game. We made a point that they'd looked quite sharp. In that Leicester game as well.
Was we took Dwight McNeil 2 shots in that one. He got that one in at 7-1. So definitely something to keep an eye out. Dwight McNeil shots on target for Everton. Bookies might be onto it soon, but it's a gift that keeps giving at the moment. So keep going. I'm just believe there might be an update.
Oh, you count to 10.
No.
Tell you what, I'll do this ad read, Baz. Give Siri a chance to watch whatever's going on. Let me tell you about Talkify. New sponsor here. I haven't pre-read this, so this could go in one of several directions. Life is full of what ifs. So if you want to try something new when it comes to dating, here we go, Baz. Talkify is a new way to meet other serious singles. What if they help you find what you're looking for? If you're having a hard time meeting great people to date, if you keep trying the same methods and you're set up to fail, say goodbye to swiping, bring back the human touch to dating with Talkify. Confidence is the key. If you struggle to find a worthwhile connection, it can be difficult to feel in your best when meeting new people. With Talkify, you feel confident. You meet someone special who was picked just for you. Talkify is the country's #1 modern matchmaking service designed to help you achieve relationship success. They're trusted compatibility specialists and select successful and compelling candidates so you can date consciously and productively. The Talkify matchmakers meet with you to learn about what you're looking for in a partner. They'll then plan your date, handle communications, create the safe and stress-free dating experience, and committed to finding your match. 80% of clients met their person within the first 12 matches. Right now, Talkify is offering our listeners 20% off when you become a client at talkify.com/SGPN. That's TAWKIFY.com/SGPN for 20% off when you become a client. Talkify.com/SGPN. That is great to know, Baz, when me and you were looking for the second Mrs. Bamford and Mrs. Penaluna, that we can save a few quid. What was your update?
Jackpot, over 3.5 goals. Has hit at 25-1. Morgan Gibbs White from the penalty spot. Nottingham Forest 3-1.
Unbelievable, that. The system is real, Baz.
Yeah.
That might just be us from now to the end of the season,
I'll get a few messages from one of the WhatsApp groups. It's a fantasy football WhatsApp group I'm in, and I'd obviously been sharing a lot of the success earlier in the day. And a few of the lads had said, what have you gone for here? And I'd said to them before, and I said, I've laddered it, 1.5 up to 3.5. First half goals. They said, what did you pick on the show? And I couldn't remember. I says, one of them went away and went and listened to the show so you could get me picked for the game. That was over 2.5.
It was, yeah.
Which hit it with 30 minutes. So everything's hit. Everything's hit again. Absolutely buzzing today. Yeah, and Serial's a winner. Serial saying he's got that at 29-1 over 3.5 first half goals.
Unbelievable. The bad news is now, Baz, we're going to have to sit and take some wild stabs at these 6 European semi-finals coming up this week. Let's see if we can stumble across some winners. Champions League, we'll go in competition order. Tuesday night semi-final, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Kick-off Real Madrid against Manchester City. Real Madrid 21-10 plus 210. The draw 13-5 plus 260. Manchester City 6-5 plus 120. Both have been comfortable all the way through this competition. Real Madrid have a record of 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Manchester City 6 wins and 4 draws. We can get a decent form line through Madrid as well because they played Chelsea and Liverpool in this competition, beating them both quite comfortably. So 4 wins against English Otto, which helps us a little bit. They have lost 4 of their last 8 league games. Average goals scored is down to 1.5 from 2.06. And crucially, the average goals conceded has gone up from 0.97 to 1.63 in this spell. Obviously, we know Manchester City have been absolutely flying, 10 league wins in a row, averaging 2.62 goals per game, averaging 0.75 conceded. I can't not bet Manchester City, Baz. I just think they've been in such good form. You see, Madrid are okay. I've mentioned before, I'm not convinced about the quality of the Spanish league in comparison to ours, even though they have done in Chelsea, which effectively counts for nothing, and then Liverpool, who were in better form now than they were when they played Madrid. But how many times do you get to back this Manchester City? It's 6-5, Baz, when normally we're tackling them at minus 700 every week. So my pick's going to be City to win it, 6-5 plus 120, Baz.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, we're in the business end of the tournament now, and this is definitely the one everyone's talking about. That nobody's really looking at the Milan-Inter game. I'm sure they are in Italy, but at the moment, everyone's interest is in this one. Real Madrid did pick up a trophy at the weekend. They won the Copa del Rey final against Osasuna, 2-1. The form leading up to that was a bit mixed. 2 wins, 2 losses. They've conceded 7 goals in the last 4 games. Possible they took their eye off the ball slightly, with Barcelona well ahead. They were never going to challenge for the title. But they have also now relinquished second place to Atletico. I don't think it is the best Madrid side we've seen over the years, but they have got a habit of getting the job done in this competition. They made it here by knocking out Chelsea and Liverpool fairly comfortably. But let's be honest, neither of those sides have been anywhere near the levels they have been in previous years. So they aren't quite the scalp this season as they would have been last season. In the groups for Real Madrid, they come through relatively straightforward against Leverkusen, Shakhtar, Celtic again, a group that they should really be winning anyway. Man City, on the other hand, unbeaten in 20 games in all competitions now. I mean, Pep's always been accused of overthinking these big games over the years. But for me, I think the Bayern game represented the biggest challenge to their hopes in this competition. And they overcame that one with relative ease. And I think they'll do the same again here. They are a sure price to qualify. I wouldn't be taking them at 2-7 to qualify from this tie. That's not to say I don't think it'll happen. It's just a very short price and you're not going to get rich back in those. But I do think they'll get a positive result here to take back to the Etihad. As you say, 6-5 to win the leg. I don't mind it. But I think a slightly safer play for me is City to score 2 or more at 5-6. So I'm not shortening it too much. They showed recently against Bayern, Arsenal, Liverpool. They can put up goals against anyone. In fact, they only once in the last 11 games have failed to hit 2 goals. And that was the second leg against Bayern. And that was with a tie already won with a 3-0 home leg in the bag. So give me City to score 2 or more at 5-6.
Excellent use of the word relinquished there, Baz, in there. I've written that down. Word of the show. Well done, you. The second Champions League semi is Wednesday, which is AC Milan against Inter Milan. It's a tight one on the books. AC Milan are 21-10 plus 210. Draw is 21-10 plus 210. And Inter Milan are 6-4 plus 150. Milan derby, Baz.
Yeah, so Milan derby, as you say, Milan currently sitting 5th in the table, just outside the Champions League spot, and Inter just 2 points ahead of them in 4th. So not a lot to split these teams at all. So the first thing is looking at the recent form. Milan are unbeaten in 9, but they have got lots of draws in there. 5 draws and 4 wins. 8 games in a row under 2.5 has hit in Milan games, so lots of leans towards the unders in their games. Inter, on the other hand, are unbeaten in 6, and they've won 5 in a row in all competitions. They've scored 18 goals in the last 6 games, with 4 of the 6 hitting the over 2.5. So one side of it is leading us to the unders, and the other side of it is definitely favouring the overs. Inter has scored 2 or more in 5 of the last 6 games. Both got here via good wins in the quarterfinals. Inter beating Benfica, Milan beating Napoli. Both results that I don't think either of us predicted or expected.
We're getting all of that wrong.
Yeah, we got all of that side of the draw wrong, definitely. So I thought head-to-head could offer a few clues here. They played each other in January and February, with Inter winning both of those. Milan have only won 1 of the last 5 head-to-head, so Inter have definitely got the edge. I think Inter are rightfully favourites here to qualify. They're in better form. They've got better head-to-head form. Scored more goals this season. They've conceded less goals. But my first thought is possibly a bit of a cagey first leg, and a lean to the unders. But it's a little bit short. I think it's about 8-13 for under 2.5 goals. So I'm just going to take Inter to win the first leg here. I think it's 6-4. They're a decent price. As I say, they've won the last 2 head-to-heads. Let's take them to get off to a good start here. Probably nick it 1-0 or something. So Inter to win at 6-4. That's the pick for me here.
Okay, well, that's just brilliant, Baz. My pick is AC Milan to win at 21-10. So we've just wasted 5 minutes of everyone's time. I found it difficult to split, Baz. A little bit earlier on, you explained why Everton were good value. And I think it's a similar thing. Sometimes if you can't split them, you just think you take the bigger price. Like everywhere I looked here, I couldn't find anything to separate the two sides. Maybe the head-to-head record is what you've used, and that's a perfectly valid system. Like both have got 5-3-2 records in the competition this season. Really similar goals scored, goals against. Every other star I looked at. And I've been informed, scored 14 goals in the last 4 wins. What swung it for me? You use the head-to-heads. I used Milan's home Champions League form, which has been really good, and it's been better than Inter's away Champions League form. Inter got that win at Benfica. Not sure how strong that form is for, like, say, a Portuguese team. It is by far their best away result, so I've made that the outlier, giving Milan. And I think I've been so wrong on Inter every time. Then I don't think it matters what I pick either. So let's take the bigger price. AC Milan, 21-10, plus 210. So the Europa League, what night's all this happening? Europa League is both games are on Thursday here. Both games kick off at 8 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern time. First up is Juventus against Sevilla. Juventus 3-4, minus 133. The draw 13-5, plus 260, and Sevilla are 4-1. Juventus second in Italy. Sevilla are up to 11th now in Spain. They were hanging around about 14th, 15th when we handicapped them and they beat Manchester United in the last round. So yeah, Juventus have beaten really middling opposition here. Both of these sides are Europa League, Champions League dropouts. So if you get knocked out the group, you get parachuted into this competition, which is a load of bollocks, frankly. So you haven't got much of a record to go on. Juventus have won 4 and drawn 2. Sevilla have won 3, drawn 1, and lost 2. But yeah, Juventus' opposition hasn't really been up to much. Nantes, kind of an average French team. Freiburg, average German team. Sporting, an above-average Portuguese team, but that's an average league. So it's hard, really. I mean, they're results that you would expect. Sevilla, we can get a line on, but because they beat Man United, but then so do everybody. Like Sevilla are an absolute different team in this competition. They famously love this competition more than anything else. They have won 4 of the last 5 league games. They've won their last 3 away league games without conceding a goal. Juventus is stuttering just a little bit. So I give Sevilla a little chance here. I'm not sure they're going to go and win it, but they've got a draw at Manchester United. And like I say, with their penchants for this competition, I think they can snatch a draw here as well. So I'm going to take the draw, Baz, 13-5, plus 260.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Juventus, I don't know. I don't pay loads of attention to the Italian league, but I thought Juventus had been a little bit shit this year. I now look at the league and find them second in the league, and then I remembered why that is. They'd had loads of points taken off them, hadn't they, for financial doping.
Wanted to get them back.
And then they appealed that and got them back and suddenly thrust them back into the Champions League spots. They won the last 2 games, but they had been on a 5-game winless streak before that. Under 2.5 goals has hit in 7 of the last 8 games for Juventus. Sevilla have hit form at the right time. They're firmly anchored in the mid-table in La Liga. But they've had just 1 loss in the last 9. They had a really good win over Man United in the previous round. And 5 wins in the last 6 games now. So they are in good form at the right time. It's not been the finest season, this, but we mentioned previously that the pedigree in this competition. They've got a good history of doing well in this Europa League. I think Sevilla have a chance over the 2 legs, 5-4, I think, to qualify. But I think they'll be happy to go over here and just keep it tight. And with Juventus games frequently hitting the unders, I think that might have to be the play for me. It's a little bit shorter than I would usually go for, but just looks a safe one. Probably one I'll stick in accumulators and what have you. 4-6 for under 2.5 goals is my pick here.
The other semi-final is AS Roma against Bayer Leverkusen. Roma are 21-10 plus 210. The draw is 23-10 plus 230, and Leverkusen are 11-4 plus 275. That's a lot of Italian action here. You must be an Italian expert now. You said you don't know it.
Well, ordinarily, Malcolm, this is where you have a go at me for having the fixtures in the wrong order. So I've got Roma as the first one because, as you correctly put it, AS Roma. So alphabetically, as you always say, AS Roma.
I just Roma, though, innit? Roma.
You just change your mind. As in,
right.
When you
all right, knobhead. Won't Juventus be called AC Juventus then, if you want to go down that route?
I don't know what Juventus are called.
Therefore, the C would, and I'm going to use a word here that's going to put relinquished up for grabs, the C would supersede the S in the alphabetical order stakes. So which way do you want it?
Is on my fixture app, we've got AS Roma and Juventus.
I've got Roma.
Have it. Anyway.
Get on with it. Get on with it.
I'll tell you where we're going. Roma currently 7th in Serie A and struggling to qualify for Europe as it stands. This tournament could represent the best chance of getting back into it if they can go and win it. Well, of course, you get Champions League, don't you, if you win this one. They've not won in 4 games, so they aren't coming into this in any kind of form. The Unders has hit 3 of the last 4, as has both teams to score. A couple of 1-1 draws in amongst those. Leverkusen lost at the weekend to Cologne. They had been on a 14-game unbeaten run before that one. I'm not sure how strong a team they put out that game at the weekend. It might be that they rested players with this in mind. I don't know. It possibly not, with it being all the way next Thursday. But anyway, they have been in very, very good form before the weekend. Sit 6th in the league, so they're currently likely to qualify for the Conference League again at best. They don't look like breaking into the top 5 or dropping any lower than 6th. I've gone back on recent form again here. Leverkusen are the team in better form. They're a big price here, away to Roma, and I don't think Roma are particularly very good. Certainly nothing for Leverkusen to fear. I think they're probably a good match. So I'm going to take Leverkusen to avoid defeat here. I'm taking them on a double chance. It's 7-10.
Leverkusen double chance. I don't think Juventus are called AC Juventus.
Yeah, that's Milan.
Well, it's all of the minute because it just means football club, you know, to put it at the start. What was your pick in the Juventus game? I stopped listening.
My pick was under 2.5 goals at 4-6.
Under 2.5.
Two very short price ones there in the Europa. But we did say at the beginning our confidence level on our Europa picks are very low.
Well, just phoning this is, but frankly. Right, yeah. Roma have been in this competition throughout, got a 6 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats record. Leverkusen, another Champions League dropout, 4-1-1. Roma form or their progress in this competition is all being based on really solid home form and quite a few goals. Leverkusen have had some good road wins. They've got a 3-2 at Monaco. They've got a 4-1 in the last round at Union Saint-Gilloise, who have played really well in this competition. They might not be a household name, but that's a good win. Averaging 2.35 goals per match as well. So I didn't see why we couldn't get goals in this one. But over 2.5 was plus money as well. 11-10, plus 110. Let's get us over 2.5. The Europa Conference League. Is this all happening on Thursday as well? Yeah, Thursday, 8 o'clock. We'd start with F for Fiorentina against, how are we pronouncing Basel, Baz? Are we going Basel or Ball? What do you want to do? Ball?
Ball, isn't it? I would call them Basel, but I'm sure they're supposed to be called Ball.
Do you want to say Ball once more before I start?
No, thank you.
No? Oh, I thought you did. I thought you'd have jumped at the chance pass. Fiorentina, 11-25, minus 227. The draw is 15-4. Plus 375. Ball 13-2. Plus 650. Fiorentina sitting in 8th. They've stopped winning. I've written down, so that's a drawback. 1 win in the last 6. Home draws with Atalanta and Spezia. Ball are in 5th place in the Swiss league. Very, very average in all departments they've been. Neither team scores many goals. This is right old slow burner. This has got 1-0 Fiorentina written all over it. Oh no, Baz is about to fire up the goals. Literally under 2.5 plus 115, 15 to 13. Baz, go the other way. Come on.
Right. I did say to you when I come on. I did say to you, you lead off on the Europa Conference stuff because I haven't got much written down, and I'm going to look at it whilst we're on. And I'm
having second thoughts about publishing this, Baz. We might just edit this entire bit off.
We can't not publish it. I've got all my crowning glories at the beginning.
Oh shit! No, we'll cut off after you stop talking about Everton.
There's not many goals, but I'm looking at Fiorentina's last 8 games. They've got a 3-3, a 5-0, a 3-2, a 3-2, and a 4-1. That's 5 of their last 8 games have had a minimum of 5 goals. The last 2 in the Conference League, 2-3 and 4-1. In fact, let's go further back. The last 3 Conference League games have all had 5 goals in them. Basel or Ball, whatever you want to call them. Again, look at the Conference League games. We've got a 2-2 recently, a 3-2 against Slovan Bratislava. Sorry, that was 2-2, went to penalties. In fact, Slovan Bratislava was 2-2 twice. There's just goals all over in the Conference League games for both of the teams. So for me, I'm going over 3.5 goals at 6-4 plus 150. So Fiorentina v Basel over 3.5 goals. Goals galore, Malcolm.
Well, I'm trying to know. I'm not having it. I'm just trying to look the stats up and got a massive advert for Lego by mistake. However, I've X'd that off. Right. 1-0 against Napoli. And then there's the 3-3, 5-0, 3-2. And then 1-1, 1-1, 1-0, 1-1-0. Yeah, I'm not having it, Baz. I'm right. Anyone listening, bet that under 2.5. That's what you're going to make your money in. Plus 3.5 for Baz. Right, next. We might have a bit more on this, Baz. West Ham United against AZ Alkmaar. West Ham 3-5, minus 166. Draw 3-1. And Alkmaar 19-4, plus 475. Right, Baz. West Ham, we're familiar with. Pick us a winner.
Yeah, so last week obviously won 1-0 against Man United in their last game. Prior to that, 7 in a row. 6 in a row, over 2.5 goals. Recent Europa games, 4-1 against Gent. How is it?
Gent, man. Gent. Be clever. Don't overthink it, Baz.
I know. 4-1, 1-1. Before that, beat Larnaca 4-0. So again, plenty of indicators for goals. Similar with Alkmaar. They have goals in the games. Struggling now. I'm looking back. Now, again, Europa League, they've hit over 2.5 in the majority of their recent Europa League games. So the game angle for me, just with West Ham being in good form, they seem to have found their scoring boots lately. I think goals, they'll fancy their chances, West Ham. I think they've got their eye on this tournament now. I fancy them to have a crack at it. Scored plenty. They scored 3 against West Ham in defeat. You know, they got beat off Liverpool, but scored. Put 4 past Bournemouth. Over 2.5 goals. 9-10. West Ham v Alkmaar. That's the pick.
Well, I think Baz.
Again, haven't you?
Yep. Under 2.5.
Just double the 2 of them up as well. Get yourself a nice 4-1 winner. Over 3.5 for Fiorentina Basel. And West Ham v Alkmaar over 2.5. 4-1 double.
If we have any kind of conscious bars, we need to donate our fee for this show to the Daft Kids or something, because like this has been no help to anyone. Like, just send it off to the Daft Kids, have a lovely time, go to the zoo or something. So West Ham are out of trouble. Good win against Man United. So they should be able to concentrate fully on this without any relegation spectres hanging over them. Alkmaar are 4th, but they're 20 points off 3rd, so they're not a competitive 4th. Good defensively, can hold West Ham. 10-11, minus 110 is the under 2.5 goals, Baz. Right, okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is everything handicapped. I assume, Baz, you're refusing to do locks and dogs and stuff midweek. You don't like it, do you?
Not got none of that this week. Save that for the Premier League. We are the Premier League gambling podcast.
Just bear in mind, we're encouraging everyone to ignore everything we've said on this show as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm confident in the Champions League picks. I'm all right with. It's on a sliding scale in order of tournament down to quality of picks. That doesn't mean I won't pick some winners, but my confidence levels are high for the Champions League, medium for the Europa League, minimal for the Europa Conference League.
Minimal, right? Well, I'm going 6 for 6. So,
well, we could. I mean, I'm the hot hand, so I know who people will be following when we've gone
this week, Baz. Yeah, but we alternate, don't we? Come on.
No,
right.
Just me. Can I just say? Obviously, I've hit the over 2.5 in that Forest game with absolute ease. So that makes me finish on 6 wins from 10, Malcolm, including an 8-1 win. I don't know if I mentioned the 8-1 winner. That is lots of profit for level unit stakes. That's all I'm...
Yeah, it certainly is. Right, Serial's asking if he's missed the bit where we talked about the Champions League. How's that possible, Matt?
I don't know.
I mean, we're not doing it again, Serial. Sorry.
Champions League. You're going to have to rewind, like the old days. Press the button and go back a bit.
I don't know where Lane's gone, but didn't we send Lane some homework last week as well? I can't remember what it was now. Oh, that might have been baseball related, actually. It was something I couldn't be asked to work out in this chat, so I just charged Lane with bringing me the answer next week. So, yeah, you got 52 minutes.
See, one of the baseball...
you got 52 minutes till we start broadcasting the MLB show. So get involved with that. Right, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Baz. Good weekend. Well done, you, on all those winners. You've taken the fun out the second half now because you've cashed everything. You can go to bed. Easy game.
Too easy.
Far too easy. Enjoy. I'm off to London tomorrow again.
Can I tell you my story?
Go on, you got a story?
I got a story.
How are you?
I thought.
It was just a time-sensitive story from last week.
We're in under an hour. I've probably built up too much now.
Got 2 minutes.
It's probably not as good as I've built it up to be honest. But it's a child one. It's her birthday next week. She'll become a teenager. You've been through all this now with yours. As is the modern way, there's no birthday lists on scribbled bits of paper anymore. Birthday lists come in the medium of WhatsApp, screenshots on WhatsApp.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Pictures and stuff.
So Helen gets a plethora of images coming through on her phone. So starts looking through it. It's all there's lots of extravagant stuff. Trapstar jacket, £400.
Nice.
Nike trainers are about £280. New football boots, £120. Then some absolutely ludicrous things like Louis Vuitton sunglasses. This is a 12-year-old, currently a 12-year-old child.
Where's she going? Like Milan Fashion Week.
Massive Louis LV all across them, ridiculous. So we're just chuckling away at these. There's a lot of sensible stuff. There is hairbrush, makeup, some cargo pants, some shorts, t-shirts, whatever. Some sensible stuff on there. And then as we're flicking through them, up pops a big bright orange lizard.
Oh.
A friggin' lizard? What's that all about? So I thought
an actual lizard,
an actual real life lizard, pops up on the screen as one of our screenshots. So me and Helen are just sitting there thinking, what is this? At this point, she's upstairs in the bedroom. So we sort of brought her in and said, "Can you explain what this is all about?" She went, "I want a lizard." I said, "Where are you going to keep a lizard?" She says, "Well, I'll just empty one of the drawers in my wardrobe and it can live in it." I said, "You haven't thought this through." She went, "Oh, and by the way, it has to be an orange lizard. Like, it can't just be any lizard. It has to be."
Of course not, no.
So, yeah, that's the most bizarre request from a 12-year-old for a birthday. In amongst all of the extravagant fashion items, was a bright orange lizard that she's going to keep in a drawer in her wardrobe.
So you get the lizard?
That give us a little bit of... No, are we shit?
Are you getting the massive Louis Vuitton sunglasses?
No, not at all. You get some shady rays.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Some shady rays.
By the way, in amongst that, Southampton have just scored. It's 3-2.
Oh, my God. Excellent. That was worth waiting for. Baz, I've enjoyed that a lot. Man. Right, so we'll be back on Thursday for the Prem. Like I say, I'm off to London working, but I'll be back on Thursday. When's the band's birthday?
It's next Monday.
So you've got a bit of time to save up.
Yeah.
Get your lizard tank sorted, etc. Cheers everyone who's in the chat. Usual suspects, Serial, the captain, Lane, etc. Like I say, back in 45 minutes with the MLB if you want to join in. Otherwise, good luck with all your picks. And we'll see you down the road. Cheers.